How's it going, guys? Back on NIS NASCAR iRacing Series Week 3 at Las Vegas. One quick note, I'm not going to be racing next week, so you're not going to see an NASCAR iRacing Series for Phoenix. And the reason for that is I'm currently home for spring break, so I'm not at my setup and stuff, so I'm not going to be racing Phoenix. I'll race Auto Club the week after that, though. So, back to Las Vegas. We've done well our first 2 weeks. Here's our qualifying lap for those of you that want to see my qualifying laps, because I'm basically a hot lapper on iRacing. I'm able to do really fast qualifying laps. We do a 29.689, and that is on the pole by a good amount as well. Kind of surprising, honestly. About 7/100ths of a second that we got the lead there. And we're on pole, obviously. Green flag is out in our third race of the NASCAR iRacing Series. For those of you wondering what kind of iRating I am and what kind of split I'm in, my iRating is around 2,900, so I personally don't know what kind of split that is. I'm guessing maybe 3 or 4, but that's my rating. So I'm not with the highest guys like the pros and stuff. I'm not trying to become a pro. But I'm really proud of kind of the development that I've had in iRacing so far, so I'm really proud of being able to qualify on pole and run up front in most of these NASCAR iRacing Series races. Back to the race, lap 4. Caution comes out really early, and let's look at what happened here. Look at that DuPont number 5, and some sort of contact. Now, I usually say bumper hook at Daytona and Talladega, not Las Vegas, so I don't really know what happened here. Let's look back on it on replay. We're riding along with the 5 here, behind the 26, expecting a bump here. There's the bump that sends him out of control, and that's definitely on the 5 there, because there's no reason on lap 3 to be bumping down a back straightaway. You're not supposed to bump on a mile and a half, so that's definitely his fault. Feel bad for the 26 there, and hopefully the 5 apologized to him, because that's a pretty bad move there. Green flag is back out, and we have another solid jump on a restart. We go to lap 10, and everything is really kind of the norm. We lead by 3/10 over the 28, and then the 24 is back there in third, with the 3 in fourth, all within 7/10 of a second. So the group is pretty well together. And we move ahead a little bit later on. You can see the 28 kind of closing the gap here, which is, again, not surprising. I think this has been shown at Atlanta and a couple of the North races as well, that my weakness is race pace. I can qualify on pole, but I'm usually, because I don't practice enough in terms of long runs, I just don't have the time. That I truly don't want to kind of spend the time that I need to get better on these long runs. I seem to suffer just a little bit. So wasn't really surprising, but it was surprising that lap 21 we could still kind of hold on to the lead. But you can see we're getting loose coming out of 4. And we're starting to fight the wheel while Adam is right there behind. And I think one of the things that we suffer from a little bit is the fact that when I'm in the lead and there's someone behind me, they can see what I'm doing, but I can't see what they're doing. So when I get into a point where I've never run 15 laps on tires because I just don't practice that kind of run, I don't know what the car is going to feel like, and I lose a little bit of speed from that. Meanwhile, guys like the 28 behind can actually see what I'm doing and just kind of judge it by themselves and then get a little bit faster. So sometimes, honestly, I think qualifying on pole can be a little bit of negative for me, just for experience reasons. Is that I'm not really running behind someone on fresh tires to see what I can do from the start of the run to save my tires and stuff. So lap 23, we're fighting really hard with these 2 guys. We're trying to hold on to the lead as much as we can, because I know it's really important to hold on to the lead if we can. We're here to win. Obviously, a top 5 would be great, but I'm here to win. As we get loose coming out of 2, as you can see there. And Adam on the 28 gets to the high side. We're not going to try and be a twat about it and just block or something and do something stupid to take us out. So we're going to run the bottom lane, try to get him clear out of 4, but he's there. We're going to give him the room. And since he has that lane, he will get around us and take the lead. The 24 eventually will get underneath us as well in lap 27. We'll let him go, and we'll fall back in a third and do what I said a little bit earlier, and just take notes. See what they're doing that I may be struggling at. Why am I wearing out my tires quicker than they are? Why am I getting loose out of 4 quicker than they are? And lap 33, again, we're losing a little bit of time. And then coming down pit road is the 24 on lap 33. Now, we can run a lot longer than that on fuel, so I was a little bit surprised by that. You can see on the bottom right, we had estimated fuel of 28 laps left. So that was a little bit weird there, that he pitted. So we move ahead a little bit later in the race. You can see Adam has a lead. We are back in second place because the 24 pitted. And the gap is not too far. Looks like around 1.7, 1.8 seconds there, maybe 2 second gap. So that's not terrible. I'm not going to be upset with being, you know, 2 seconds behind the leader, you know, at a track that I'm not practicing long runs at. So if I got to put the practice in to get a little bit better, I know that, and maybe I will when I get back from spring break, but I just need to get a little bit better. And you can see here, 1.8 seconds back, and you never know, we still have a good shot at this. I mean, we're running, I'm being so hard on myself, honestly. I just realized this in this video. I'm being kind of hard on myself. We're running second. Lap 44, you can see in the left side of the windshield there, Adam decides to come down pit road, and he pits. Now, this is a very interesting little position here, because 44 laps in, I could still go another about 13 laps on fuel, so I was thinking to myself, what do I do? And you can see here, we're on lap 55, I still haven't pitted. I'm banking on a strategy to where if a caution comes out, and that's really what I was banking on, that I'd be in a pretty good position. So I was hoping here a caution would come out and see what would happen. And, you know, I just said, you know what, I don't think I can beat Adam straight up, so let's just do something different. That's something that I know Brad Keselowski and Paul Wolfe do a lot. If you think you can't beat someone straight up on speed, then do something different from them. So I decided to go as long as I could on fuel. We had about 3 laps to go here left in the tank, and we decided to come down pit road. Tires were really worn, so we were giving up a lot of time. We come down pit road, and we get a really nice entry into pit road, and we don't. I'm very glad through the Atlanta race and our first time here that we haven't messed up on pit road. As we get back out onto the track, you can see here when we come out of the track, we actually get pretty lucky here. It's a very clean track, as you can see. No one behind us, no one in front of us, so that way we're able to get back up to speed with our fresh tires and try to just get going as quickly as we can. So that was really good to have there for the first couple laps of the run. Lap 59, you can see in the bottom right, we're in 19th place. Now that's just strategy things going on. A lot of people short pitted, and they gained a lot of time, so that's a lot of strategy going on. I think we're 1 lap down at this point as well, so you do not want a caution at this moment. This is the important part of the race. Here, until some of the leaders pit, we can't afford a caution. But once they do start pitting, you know, we can kind of afford it. And we are only 5 laps here. About 5 laps into the run, people are already starting to pit. We've already moved up to 15th. We're taking a little bit of risk here. As you see, we go 3 wide in between 2 cars here. We're just so much faster in the fresh tires. And overall, we're faster than those guys anyways. These guys were running a little bit further back in the pack, so we're faster than them as well. You can see we're just flying up through the field. Lap 66, we're already up to 12th. So a couple guys already pitting. They looks like some people's strategy was to pit every 30 laps, which I thought was way too short. So this is really a big strategy race that at the time, which is kind of which I kind of, you know, hope I would have someone telling me what's going on, but I do these races by myself, so I had no one telling me what was going on. I didn't know what strategies was going on. Some people in these rooms have spotters and stuff like that. I don't have that, so unfortunately I was just trying to wing it, and I didn't know what I was doing, so I was just like, you know what, I'm going to go as far as I can. But it really looked like it was working out here. Lap 69, we're running in 8th, and you have lap cars. That's the 24 car that just passed us. The 24 was running in 2nd. He's already pitted twice, and he's already a lap down. So that's a little bit of an interesting call there. Lap 70, you can see actually, I noticed the comments in the last video, Matt Orr, that's apparently someone named Empty Box. I've never heard of him before, but I've seen he's a really cool YouTuber, 50-something thousand subscribers, and does a lot of simulation stuff. So shout out to Matt. It was cool racing with him. I noticed who he was. I didn't notice who he was in Atlanta, but since you guys told me who he was, it was cool to race with him, and I saw him there. As we go around him. He was on older tires, and we kind of just get around him. The number 2, we were able to get around the number 2 as well. Now he was running the 4th place before the first cycle pit stop cycle, so he was kind of on a similar strategy. We had about a couple laps fresher tires than he did, though. I would say about 5 to 6 laps fresher tires. So we're able to get around him, and we're starting to make that gap back up. Now this moment, lap 79, and even a couple laps before this, if a caution came out, we're in good position. We're right back to where we were before the pit stop cycles. We're running 2nd to Adam, and Adam's out in front of the lead. Now how far ahead is he? He's not that far ahead. You can see right there. There he is entering turn 3, and there we are entering turn 3 right about now. So about 2.5 second gap, I would say. We had a 2-second gap before pit stops. So the strategy's kind of working out, honestly. If a caution comes out now, we're in a good position. We're still 2nd. And we also have about 15 laps on Adam in terms of fuel. So we're in a really good position. I really liked at this moment, once I realized I was in 2nd place, I was really happy with the position I was in. So lap 90, 10 laps later, no caution has come out yet, unfortunately, which is okay. We just need a caution anywhere from now until like the next 25 laps, basically. As Adam decides to pit, he pits a little bit, I would say a little bit earlier. He goes another 40 laps in the tank. We had 15 more laps in the tank than he did, so since he went 40 laps, we could actually go around another 30 laps, another 25 laps on the fuel mileage. So lap 90 we're in now, we're back in the lead. We could technically go another 25 laps until lap 115. That's the gap that we had here that we could work with. So anytime, literally any moment from now until lap 115, if a caution would come out, we would have a lot of the field trapped a lap down, and Adam would be maybe around 8th or 9th position. So putting one of the fast guys, because there were a couple guys that were on the same strategy I was. So there were a couple guys in between me and Adam. Now there's Adam in the 28. This is around lap 1, I think 107, 108. Now we don't have anyone behind us on the same strategy. We are in first and Adam is in second. You could see the gap. Adam's over in turn 1 while we are in turn 3. So it's a really big gap, about half a track on him. So again, anytime the caution wants to come out, that's the strategy we're banking on. If a caution doesn't come out, then we can't just run to the end of the race and maybe lose a couple spots. Maybe we finish around 7th or 8th instead of finishing in 2nd or 3rd. So lap 111, we're surrounded by lap cars. We're just hoping for a caution. That's really all we're hoping for, a caution. Can a caution please come out anytime? Lap 114, we have to come down pit road this time by. And unfortunately, a caution won't come out. We only have 2 laps of fuel left. The right front tire is completely worn, and we decide to come down pit road. And the strategy is kind of done in that moment. Winning the race at this moment is kind of thrown out the window. We still could get a good finish, though. So coming back out of pit road, here we go. You can see Adam, the leader, on the bottom right. He is coming around, and he puts us a lap down here. But it looks like with fresh tires, we should be able to get back. Literally the worst luck possible. Here goes Adam passing us, and right about there, the caution comes out. Now, to explain this, if the caution would have come out 2 seconds before then, right there, if the caution came out, we would have been on the lead lap with fresh tires. Adam would have had to pit, and we would have been able to cycle back to the lead. So we were 2 seconds away from it being perfect. Unfortunately, the lucky dog, we have to take that, and I can't tell you how upset I was, guys. I was so upset, mainly because I felt like the strategy really worked. And even if the caution came out 2 laps later, we would have been able to get around him. You know, with fresh tires, 2 laps later, we would have been able to get around him. Literally the worst possible time a caution could have come out, and you know, that's racing though, you know, fractions of a second. It's unbelievable. So now we're stuck behind lap cars because of the lucky dog. Fortunately, the caution comes out with around 12 laps to go, so we're able to get around those lap cars, and now we're running in 12th, and we just have to salvage. Let's just see if we get a good finish here. The win is already out. A top 5 is already out of the question as well, and I was really disappointed by that, because we know we're probably the 2nd fastest guy in this room, and unfortunately we're not going to finish in that position. We get a little bit of contact there with the 29, and again, this is that moment where around maybe just a lot of traffic and a lot of slower cars, and we're just trying to get around these guys, and there really is nowhere to go, and you can't force it. You don't want to wreck anyone and ruin anyone's race, so we just got to be really careful here with a couple laps left. The goal at this moment was a top 10. Just get a top 10 and try to get out of here, and with a good finish. So here we are battling the 12 and the 29. I think at this moment we're around that 10th place area. So, but we're doing our goal, and we're just trying to just finish in the best position possible. Still really dejected about what happened with the caution. Like, that really ruined the race for us, and it's just, you know, it is what it is though. We had a strategy, and that kind of failed there. So 4 laps to go. We're battling the 12 pretty hard. 3 laps to go. We're still battling the 12 really hard. He wasn't going to give us any room to come up, and we had to be very careful. You can see there's blipping the throttle really a lot there coming out of 2. I didn't want to run into him, so we knew we were faster. Luckily, we were able to get a run in on turn 2 and get a nice run on the 12 here. Let's go back down into 3 and 4. We're going to have to drive it in really deep. Hope it sticks. It sticks a little bit. We get back into the throttle, full throttle early, and we just slide it up off of 4 and clear the 12 car. That moves us into 8th position, coming to the white flag. And really, 12th to 8th in about 7 laps. I think that was pretty good, honestly. So we're going to come home and finish in 8th. And unfortunately, you know, we had a chance. We definitely had a chance. Adam would go ahead and win the race. And you know, his strategy worked out. You know, that really is all it is. I think we in my opinion, we had an 80% chance to have the strategy work in our favor. It was just that the minute the caution came out was the only minute it couldn't have come out for us. Like that's the only time it couldn't have come out for us. So you see the finishes there. Empty box, Matt, he finishes in 6th, so the strategy worked out for him as well. So a big strategy race there, and unfortunately it didn't work out for us. And that's just how it is, guys. If you like the video, make sure to like button. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Really dejected about this. You can do multiple NIS races, but I want to keep it kind of realistic and put pressure on myself and just do one per week. So this was the only one I did. I'll see you guys later. Hope you're having a great day. Won't be doing Phoenix next week, but we will be back for Auto Club. And peace out.
Even if I tried, even if I wanted to, and I can't change. Even if I tried, my love, she keeps me warm.